Hey guys, what's up? Jordan Orell here, making another video on circumcision. And today I'd like to go back to the tradition I used to have of kind of making videos on good days and bad days. And I guess I've been doing that. I haven't been having the greatest days every day, and I've still been making videos. But I want to make videos that are actually consumable, that actually have content that's good, that's just not me kind of throwing out my experiences or my therapeutic process over you guys. But at the same time, I also do want to be real about my experience right now. So yeah, I'm my grandpa, who is really important to me, is not doing well. He has Alzheimer's and is gone from being able to have a conversation last time I talked to him to being kind of incoherent at present, and he hasn't ever been like that before. It's been going downhill for a while, but it got way worse. And my sister's been kind of suicidal. She's been suicidal pretty badly, and has suffered from meth use in the past. Probably has done that recently. We're trying to figure that out. She's my favorite person in the world, and so that's hard. I'm trying to do the circumcision trauma stuff every day, and it's a lot. Doing 2 or 3 hours every day is a lot, and thought I'd use cannabis today, as I sometimes do, to help me process stuff in different ways, and that was not good. Sometimes I don't do well in cannabis, a lot more lately actually. It just puts me in a really bad place. And experienced that today with everything I've been going through, and just felt terrible about circumcision, and like I'm not getting anywhere with it. Started to look for a therapist. Actually messaged one therapist in the area, hoping someone close to me who can take my insurance will be able to work with this. It's striking me how difficult it is to have someone who deals with sexual abuse and trauma, PTSD, and incest, and body loss, and problems with sexuality, existential, spiritual, relational, identity level, masculinity issues, and a lot more. Circumcision is the loss for me, of masculinity and of who I am as a person. The fact that relationships are everything to me, and romantic relationships in particular, and that sex is the best part of romantic relationships. So it's such a fundamental loss in so many ways that I'm dealing with, and it's really hard. And my mom hasn't said she's going to stop circumcising babies yet, and I need to talk with her about that. I wanted to do an interview this weekend, and I'm finding it really hard not to attack her, not to say everything that I want to say to her violently and in a way that would be completely alienating and destructive to our relationship. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the interview this weekend that I want to do with my mom. But it's really important, and I really need to tell her to stop, which I'm planning to do. Everything in my family that's just falling apart, and doesn't make things easier. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, a little bit. I think I need to do a different modality of trauma healing because what I'm doing right now is too intense. Trying to meditate directly on circumcision and really go into that full bore for 2 or 3 hours every day. I can't handle it. I need to do less than that. I need to, or do something else, just meditate on my breath or something to develop that resource and get into a calm state before I do more trauma work. I'm really struggling right now with debating if I should take my current trauma healing videos off because that's all would help me get from having very severe PTSD to where I am now, which is unbelievably an improvement. But I'm not all the way healed, and I'm not even close, and I don't want to pretend like I know how. And it's in this difficult position because there's no one else out there helping men with circumcision trauma. There's no one doing it. Ron Goldman, if you have whatever, over $100 per week to throw away and don't need to meet in person, or it's maybe a couple others, and then you're limited to whatever modalities they use. You don't really get a big choice of therapists or of treatments. I can't really afford that. Maybe I'll figure it out. I need something. I need more help than I'm getting. And I think that's a big problem in our movement, that most men don't even search for help. I haven't gotten much help, even though I'm very psychologically oriented as a human being. I've still gotten barely any help for this issue, just out of neglect of myself. When you experience this trauma of circumcision, it destroys your spirit in a way. It's like you can't really fix it with therapy. You can't really fix it with anything. It's a permanent body loss of a very, very serious kind. I'm really trying to find a therapist who can deal with this. It's like no one understands how horrible of a thing this is. Or at least it's horrible in a different way. Someone who's abused every day of their life, that's another kind of horror. But this is abuse from inside your own body every day, in a way. There's a permanent trauma of the severest type that you're confronted with on a daily basis from those who are closest to you, from your parents who are supposed to take care of and protect you. It's the most fundamental betrayal of trust possible. I hate making videos that are this negative, but that's where I'm at, and I need help. I need healing. I'm a sensitive person, and I'm just having a hard time handling this right now. A lot of temptations to go into other bad coping mechanisms, and I really, really, really don't want to do that. So it's hard. It's hard trying to be an activist and being confronted with this every day, and then failing. It's a form of failure, to not be able to emotionally deal with this. To me, at least, that's the worst failure. It's something I pride myself in, and I try to be the best at, and I'm not not able to cope with it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Right, meow. Sorry I haven't been answering people's messages or comments as much. And I've been kind of secluding myself a little bit. I'm burnt out and financially in a bad place, and I need to work, and I'm trying to do healing at the same time, and it's not working. And so it's just like the social things kind of falling by the wayside. So that's that. You guys are great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, being concerned about this issue, being concerned about children and the man they grow to become. And I wish love and peace and foreskin to each and every one of you. Yeah, I'm ultimately very hopeful. I think if you really want to understand me, that's the most important thing to understand, is that underneath it all, I'm stupidly hopeful. And yeah, it's just not, things aren't good right now, but they will improve, they will get better. And I'm excited for that. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more, continuing to do a lot of meditation, a lot of maybe love, generating love. I haven't done that as much. But just sending love to myself, feeling love for myself and for my experience. Not focusing as much on the trauma, but just trying to block it out for a little bit. Honestly, sometimes you just need to block it out and not think about it for a time. I think that's what I need to do right now, is to not think about circumcision for maybe a week and really just focus on my emotional health in general. And yeah, I think other than today, I've been kind of on the up for the past 2 or 3 days, past week really, as a general rule. Yeah, it's up and down, I guess, but overall it's up. My sister's probably going to treatment, so that's good. Or not treatment, but probably doing DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, something I'd also really like to do. I actually have the manual right here. Marsha Linehan is the most important psychologist in the world right now, by far. Look up her story, Marsha Linehan, how she created DBT. Although you have to get the full story, you have to find, it's kind of hard to find, but she had severe borderline personality disorder, was on the back wards of psych wards for like 3 years, and as a teenager, just pounding her head against walls and like trying to cut herself and kill herself for like years. And then she got out and found help and did Zen and got her PhD in behaviorism and basically merged mindfulness and behaviorism and her own experience to figure out how to create one of the most successful therapy programs that exists today. It treats like every disorder that we have pretty much. Especially useful for suicidality, but really good for everything, for trauma, for drug abuse, for personality disorders, for a lot of things. It really helps a lot of people. So recommend Marsha Linehan, dialectical behavior therapy. Look it up, it's great. I'd really love to read this book and then just like teach it as I'm learning it. I think that would be cool. Give me money and I will do that. May actually tell me what you think of this. I really want to create a wiki for therapists. Brendan Murata gave me the idea and said I can steal the idea and has encouraged me to steal the idea. I may have a web developer who can help me create a trauma therapy wiki for circumcision survivors. So you could look up a therapist in your area or that has your insurance and that works with a modality or a style that you like. You could look at their profile on it and then decide who you want to go to for circumcision therapy. And it could be changed and edited by the users, by either people using it or people who the therapists themselves could edit it. So it'd have user-generated data. Be a little bit sophisticated of a site. But would you be interested in that? Would you be interested in doing trauma therapy? I'd need to crowdfund it. I couldn't really just do the work necessary for that. It would be a lot of work, but it would be an amazing resource for men to have access to circumcision trauma therapy around the United States. Because right now they do not. If you walk into it, I'm struggling to find it myself, and I consider myself to be pretty knowledgeable about that side of things. So yeah, what do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts. Would love to hear your feedback, your ideas, your thoughts on circumcision trauma therapy and having a website where that would be available for men.